Live and the YouTube shenanigans. But we have some fun excitement for you. So we're filming this on December 31st. It is the 31th day of
last day of the year.
December, also known as the last day of the year, also known as Braxton's 4-month anniversary of life outside of the womb. And we're just very excited about it. This is my sister-in-law, Lauren.
Hello.
If you've been following us for a long time, you've met Lauren before, but it's probably been a minute since she's been on a Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to have her in as a guest star today. And we are using Katie's very favorite quilt behind us. It is her Pinwheel Perfection, Polka Dot Princess, whatever we want to call it. Do you have a name for your quilt as I'm naming it?
But I love all those.
That's great.
Those are great.
So we're going to go with that. So Katie's been collecting polka dots for a long time. We'll have her pop in here later. We can't get 4 people in on our shot.
No.
Or we'd squeeze her in here. We could probably hold her like Braxton and just squeeze her in here. Mom and I can hold Katie. But anyway, the point is we like polka dots. We like Katie. Desiree's our producer today. But anyway, we're going to talk rainbow quilts, temperature quilts, goals for 2026, and just celebrating that we have this tiny human here with us. I was thinking this morning as I was coming into town that, last Christmas, I think I thought I was pregnant, but I wasn't sure if I was pregnant, and I did take a test on New Year's Eve because I figured before I went anywhere, I should know if there was a baby inside. And there was, and so we went nowhere, so no one would know. Anyway, but it's nice that he's here. It's nice that he's here.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, it is.
some of you know.
He agrees.
Grandma, though.
Yeah, we'll pass him off to Grandma.
Sure.
Or-
Oh my.
It's like a crown.
Okay, fine, we'll take it off.
Might get caught up in all
Might
that
get
fun.
caught up. So, anyway, those are our grunge colors. But we, as you've been following us for a while, or maybe this is your first time, I'm Anna Rose,
I'm Lauren.
and you're Lauren Hart because she
Yes.
married my little brother, and she has a great last name. It's a great last name,
mean,
Hart.
I love it.
Cheers to that. We should
Oh, I need my
cheers.
coffee.
Yeah, we should cheers to this.
This is my little
So,
bee
oh,
straw.
look at that. That's the fanciest coffee. I love it. I love
Yes.
it. But part of what we're talking about today is that mindset matters, and how you package your ideas and your thoughts really does make a big difference. So one of the reasons why we do the weather report is actually because of my love of my sister-in-law. Lauren, what is one of your favorite things to do every day?
Check the weather every morning.
She's not kidding. She really does. And I think that that's really cool because
mean,
I do not. And I love that about Lauren. But when I do these Facebook Lives, I think about Lauren, and that's part of why we do the weather report. So I'm going to have you read the weather report today.
I know off the top of my head.
Oh, you
No,
know,
I'm
she
kidding.
was...
I mean, I know the dew point is
Yes.
24 and the humidity is 69%. But
So for those of you who aren't weather aficionados like Lauren, the dew point, as we talked this morning, is when the humidity in the air reaches the point where it becomes a liquid,
yes.
aka the dew.
And then it's sunny with a high of 56 and a low of 33. Winds southwest to northeast 5 to 10 miles an hour. This is perfect because I'm driving to Kansas City today, so not too windy,
Yes, yeah, none of that fishtailing on the road. But one of the other fun things about the weather is that today 33 degrees is my favorite number. So, we're just going to go with that. But I do think as you go for the end of this year and whatever your traditions are, and you're starting the next year, I do think it's really important to celebrate all the small things.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that is why I like to talk about my favorite number and 33, because it's amazing when you pick a number or a sequence of numbers, how many times that you just randomly see it in everyday life.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I was telling everybody during our 12 days of Christmas that my favorite time of day, I don't know if you know it, but it's 3:33 because it's just the best time of day.
I mean, it is. Yeah,
Yes,
you
and
can't go wrong.
it's just fun because when you look at the clock and it just randomly says 13 or something, whatever. But 3:33, that's a good number. So it's very fun. So we're gonna start off talking about the most exciting project.
Oh,
why we're
starting
here.
off-
I think we should just start
gonna
off with it.
Go off.
I'm just gonna get this out of your way.
Okay, great. Who's that?
Yes. Oh, good. There was another one. I couldn't remember. Sometimes when you have good ideas, you need multiple good ideas. So they're stashed in several places. So
Take this.
depends on
rainbow.
where you find them.
Just kind of set it aside.
Yes.
So this Sunday, Rosie texted me at
Oh, which is my nickname. You might not
Oh,
know this.
sorry.
My nickname is
Yeah.
Rosie.
her brother calls her Rosie, so therefore I call her Rosie.
Yes.
She texted me, I don't even know, it was really early, and was like, you should do a temperature quilt. And so I have thought about doing one before, but then she kind of inspired me to do one. So I spent the whole day thinking about temperature quilts, and so we came up with
A color palette. Yeah.
a color palette.
Let's slide
As
this quilt
to-
here.
I
Let
was
me
gonna-
give me your beautiful coffee again.
Okay.
I have to appreciate that. It's a beautiful cup.
All set.
So we're gonna do a bolt slide. This is not a dance move. It's just
We are
it's
missing
kind of a
one
dance
color.
move.
Good. That's good.
I think we might even be missing two. There were two
Oh, we
bolts
are.
Mom and I polished off
We're
last
missing
night.
sky and another one.
It's one of the green ones.
It's these two scraps.
There we go. Is it? Yeah, I don't remember if it's kiwi or whatnot. But we
Key lime.
Key lime.
Key lime.
So we had oh, and another one
Yeah.
because sky is this is not
There's-
sky. There's
there's-
actually
it's-
3 bolts
that's
that are
Delft.
missing.
That blue is Delft.
Beautiful color. So Lauren, what is a temperature quilt for everybody
So,
who does not may not know?
I can show you.
And we can slide this out of the way because it is just enough precarious. We just wanted to show you what that stack looked like.
Yes. Okay.
You want to
Hope
toss
it
us
doesn't
one of
fall.
those sheets there?
Mm.
We fold it into a paper airplane.
Oh look. Oh wait,
Oh,
you
yeah,
first.
this is
Yeah.
mine.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, you made that.
I did it this morning.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So Moda actually has this. If you just look up Google the temperature quilt planner, this will pop up, and every day you can track your, the high and low. But I'm gonna go a little bit beyond, and I'm gonna track. I'm gonna do an Excel sheet,
Yes. So Lauren likes numbers and Excel spreadsheets.
and I'm
which I
gonna
think is fun.
do, the highs, the low, the dew point, the barometric pressure, the wind speed.
I think that's really
I'm just
fun.
gonna do everything because I don't know fully what I'm exactly gonna do yet, but I do know that I'm gonna do pinwheels for the highs and lows, and inspired by Katie. Katie is my reason for my love of pinwheels. Seeing her doing
Thank
them
you.
at retreats and stuff. So I know I'm gonna do pinwheels, but I think I'm gonna embroider. I thought about this last night. After each week, I'm gonna embroider the average, like dew point, the average,
Oh, a little.
like a little
You
square
could have
of the average from the week
So you
prior.
have a series of pinwheels and then a
Mm.
square of the summary of the week. That's a nice idea. I like
So I
that.
thought about that last night. I mean,
I
I'm
don't think
open
I've
to
seen someone else do
suggestions.
that yet.
No, I haven't either.
If you guys have anything, definitely comment it, and I will read them.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes, put that in the
definitely
comments.
open to suggestions. But we curated this last night. This whole
Your nails are fabulous, by the
I
way.
did them this morning.
They're good.
So we curated all this fabric just because it's gorgeous and it's grunge. Yeah, I just love it. And so then
Yeah, let's talk about this though.
I made this little, and I actually used scrapbooking tape, which was perfect for this.
Oh, I don't think I think maybe I've
It's right
forgotten
there.
that scrapbooking tape
Just
was
like
a
the
thing.
double good
Yeah.
little double sided.
Oh, look at
I got that at Walmart.
Yes.
Staying in focus.
I've gotten into scrapbooking, so
Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to help pass that
I brought
along.
that up this morning.
I was like, just get a reminder.
Yeah, just settle that in there. I was super into scrapbooking in high school because my BFF forever, Kendall, who is now legitimately married to a rocket scientist, and she is expecting her first kid. It's very exciting. But Kendall, she went to an all-girls Catholic high school in Kansas City, and they legitimately, that was part of their curriculum, is at the end of their senior year of high school, they had to make not just a scrapbook, but it was like their life's accumulation of who they are as a person as of the age of 18. So it was a part of their I can't remember what class it was, but because Kendall was into it, I had to be into it because she's my best friend. So when she went to Michael's, I went to Michael's. When we went to Hobby Lobby, we went to Hobby Lobby.
Oh, I love.
And as
Scrapbooks
young
for their
kids who
childhood.
also were very good at working for their parents and saving money, we didn't spend a lot of our money on I don't know, junk. We spent it on craft supplies at a young age. So I developed quite a great stash of scrapbook supplies. And now that Lauren's into it, I'm going to pass some of those along to her. And then,
do.
it's just going to be
And
great.
I write, the girls little letters and mail them.
Yes, puffy stickers.
Yes, and then
So can we show them again? Because I just think it's very visually appealing.
I did
so,
that this morning.
And
Yeah, so you came up with your own temperature ranges, right?
Yes.
You
Yes.
can make it as
Since
broad
Kansas
as you want.
definitely,
Yeah.
we've got it all. So
yeah, so there's you're right, that's a good point. So if you're in Minnesota or Montana, something like that, you may look totally
or
different.
Arizona,
Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have some
Makes
different.
You might have more reds and oranges. Yeah.
But while we're talking about the weather and everything, we are in Kansas. So we're south of Wichita, 30 minutes. We are north of Oklahoma. So we're right in the middle of the country. and which is really fun, which is reasons why you should come visit us. But the other reason is because we can appreciate the rainbow spectrum of color that we have here in Kansas. So we can tastefully wear a long sleeve shirt today without having to have snow boots on. But so Lauren and Katie, and then I came in afterwards. We curated this whole gamut. And so we could have gone even deeper. Like Lauren could have gone into like the negative times and like assigned even more colors or things like that. But I think choosing to stick with 20 fabrics is really good. We went with half yards because it was kind of, it was your intuition. But then we did ask ChatGPT, and it confirmed that half yards is the recommended increment.
And if you need more, I mean,
you can always come to Beehive.
Exactly.
Yes, and you can also curate your own, but we went ahead and made a kit. It's called Lauren's Temperature Quilt. It has 20 half yards of what you've seen here, plus these other fabrics that we ran out of. So we do have enough for three other people to get this kit today. If you really wanted to get it today, it's priced in the computer. So if you want to get a hold of the Temperature Quilt Kit from Grunge, you absolutely can. And Mom had some, or do we have, what else? Anything else about the Temperature Quilt? You have a great summary, great fabrics. That's really what you need to get started.
I'm excited. I'm going to do it every week. I think I'm going to add it to my Sunday, routine,
I'll have to have you come in after you've made some.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And show them.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We'll have to do, if I get a break,
Maybe like an update in February or March or something.
But
That'd be very fun.
I want to do, every week, do the previous 7 pinwheels just to stay on. Because, I mean...
I think
but I am a procrastinator. But,
But then you can also, what I like about that is you can also make stuff in batches. So if you did our 12 Days of Christmas, there's a couple emails I have left to send out. One of them is if you requested our the 8 at a time half square triangle cheat sheet. So sometimes the weather is consistent. And so if you are making half square triangles or pinwheels as the temperature quilt concept, if you have the same kind of temperature ranges, you may need multiples of the same combination. And so if you want to get ahead of things, you can always make some of those ahead of time or make them 8 at a time if you've got some days that line up with each other, which is fun. So that might be another thing I could link in your cool kit. But I love that we've named a kit after you. I love how excited you are about the weather. And
I have a question.
Yes.
And you may not know the answer yet because you haven't totally decided what you're doing. But are you doing a pinwheel, a whole pinwheel for each day, or is one part of the pinwheel? Okay.
But I'm doing many, many pinwheels.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's going to be...
Pinwheels. You are going to do tiny. See that?
I was going to say, that's my next question. What size is your block, your pinwheel block?
Actually, I don't know fully.
I think this is why we're going to need this as a follow-up series for 2026. So I think this is going to be great. And you know what? The cool thing about all of this, too, is I think sometimes when people get at the very beginning of the year, you get, really stuck on an idea. If you deviate from it, then you failed the idea. That is not true. So leaving room for flexibility and creativity, I think, is super important for priorities for 2026. So
it's an experiment.
By all means, make 3 different sizes of pinwheels. Take a photo, see what you like better. We could even make a poll on Facebook, and then you could either go your own way or listen to the poll. But speaking of polls and crowdsourcing, part of that's why I really love what we do here at Beehive Quilt Shop is because quilting really is not a solo sport. It's not. I got to be interviewed on a podcast down in Canocla, which is in Caldwell yesterday, and they asked me some questions I was not prepared for, and they were actually simpler than what I was expecting. But one of the things that they were really curious about was how many, the community of quilting and the spaces or the gathering or why do people do it together or different things. And I think this is exactly why, is because it's really fun to bounce ideas off of each other. My dad has a really fun word for it that John McComb likes, which is called hybrid vigor. And so it's the whole thought of 1 + 1 is 3, because 1 + 1 you think is 2, but actually when you get 4 people together, you're not getting just 4 people's ideas, you're getting the combined group of everybody's ideas are blending together. And the fancy term for that, if you like vocabulary, is called hybrid vigor. And that's what it means, the power of a team and brainstorming and collaborating and bouncing ideas. And so to segue into that, we have Katie's amazing quilt behind us. So Katie, could you pop in here? We'll swap Lauren out real quick. We'll put in Katie. And not that this is hockey or team sport, but it is a team sport because, again, it's quilting. But this is Katie. If you haven't met her before, she's been on lots of our Facebook Lives. She's the queen of inventory and so many other things at Beehive. and this is her quilt.
Yes.
And I asked Katie if we could talk about this on the Facebook Live, so I hope this is okay because
Oh yeah.
it's the same here. But Katie's quilt, if you look closely, it is not bound yet.
But it is serged. I
Yes.
serged the edges.
So she's fancy.
I'm a little feral when it comes to quilting. And binding's like not my least favorite thing to do. But I loved this quilt so much that I was too impatient with myself to get it bound before I used it. So this is a very used, loved, it's my quilt that I made. It's the first quilt I made for myself. And so I've used it a lot. I've washed it with no binding on it. My apologies.
I've done the same thing.
It makes me feel better.
Yes. I almost brought mine in, but mine's not serged, so yours is nicer than mine.
Yeah, I had to trim some threads off because even though it's serged, I've washed it several times, so it is starting to get a little ratty on the edges. But I actually love that. Like, this is such a loved quilt. Like, my pets have laid on it. Everybody's loved it. Like, it's a great quilt. But I probably should bind it. One of the reasons I didn't bind it was not only do I not really enjoy the process, I had a hard time deciding on what binding to use because there's so much color in it. The back I love. It's a ruby star
Speckled berry.
but I didn't want to use that because I wanted to pop against the back, so I could just never decide. So I just didn't. I just serged it and I lived with it, and that's how it's been for probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, we sewed together when she finished the top. Yeah, it was at the hive. It's
Yeah.
okay, but we're not counting.
Yeah.
And so I think the other important thing, ending the year and starting a new year, is that it's okay if you have projects that are like Katie's. It is okay, and you're not supposed to take any the guilts or the
No.
things into the new year.
No, I'm fine with it. I love it.
Yes, yes, it's totally fine.
It's not the only quilt that I haven't bound.
Yes, but do you want
Yeah.
it? Do you want it bound?
Yes.
She does want it bound. So we asked Katie if it would be all right if we could. How could we help? Or not even that.
Yeah.
That sounds too patronizing.
Help me decide. Because
Yes.
it's just,
Yes. So we went and pre-shopped for Katie, and so that's oftentimes when you come into Beehive. This happens to everybody. You have a project. You have an old stack of fabric. Whatever the story is. And we love helping people finish up their old projects, right, Desiree? It's just a lot of fun. So, just like knowing what Katie's, why she wasn't ready to make a decision at that point, which is just fine. Quilts have to incubate just like eggs. I don't know. Is that a weird analogy?
No.
Chickens. I have chickens. I think about eggs a lot. So Des picked this fun stripe. It feels lovely. It's actually a woven from Bonnie and Camille. And so it's a soft pink. It's the same color as this piece.
I do love a soft pink.
And so when you do pick out a binding, I think it's important that you don't want your binding to take away from the project, but it needs to be like at the same, I don't even know. Anyway, just binding can mean lots of different things. So this would be a beautiful choice. If you are going to add binding to a quilt that's already been pre-washed, I would recommend washing your binding before you cut it into strips, so that when you attach it to the quilt, it's already pre-shrank, especially because this is a woven fabric. The thread count might be a little bit different than a normal quilting cotton. Even though this is still a quilting cotton, it's a woven. So that means it looks the same on the back side as it does the front.
Oh.
That's part of a woven. Some people, Jan Brody, one of my favorite humans of all time in history of weather, Jan Brody loves wovens, but she calls them homespuns because that's what they were called. In a different decade. We'll just call it that. So we have option number 1. Originally, we also were talking about this with Lauren. Now Lauren has a different decision process. In the world of Lauren, if you can default to pink, you default to pink. You default to pink. So what should I do? Pink. Pick the pink option. Always pick the pink option. I panicked, tried to look for a pink polka dot, and I was horrified to find we did not have a hot pink polka dot, I think, in stock right now.
Yeah.
Well, because, if you're going to default to
pinky.
pink.
This is almost like
default
a
to hot pink.
strawberry-ish,
It
reddish pink.
reads kind of red over
Oh,
here.
does it? Okay.
So this was the pinkish reddish I could find in a quick moment right before we started the live.
Cherry.
Cherry, yes. And so cherry lip gloss, is that middle school or what? But anyway, this is American Jane's teeny tiny polka dot. So polka dots are also not all created equal because, and what I love about Katie's collection is it has anywhere from big polka dots to little polka dots. And I think that's the other fun thing about quilting in general, especially if you pick a theme for the year or just something like polka dots. It's just like a part of Katie's identity. Just like pink is default for Lauren. Like we all have those things that are parts of our identity. So when you have something that you're constantly looking for, you're going to see it in other places. So going around and collecting polka dots at other quilt shops, I think is an awesome
Yeah, it
thing
was
to
my
do.
I love doing it. That's why it took me so long to finish this, is
Yes.
because I kept finding new polka dot fabrics at other shops. I'm like, well, I gotta add this in there now.
I just think that that's fun. So,
Yeah.
you know, when I was a little kid and mom first started letting me get pet quarters, I was collecting purple because as a child, I knew purple was my favorite color. And so when you have to make a decision, that's why so many times, like when people especially are picking their backings, I oftentimes will ask someone like, well, what's your favorite color? Or what's the favorite color in the quilt? Because when you have thousands of options that are out there, you got to start narrowing it down somewhere.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but you can also just let it sit for a minute and just serge your quilt and just get on with your life and get back to the binding whenever.
And then get somebody else to make the decision for
Yes.
you.
So tiny polka dot, another color, not one that's in her quilt.
Yeah.
This bolt did not exist when Katie made her project, so that would also be another good decision. But then in my world, I love defaulting to black and white.
I love black and white, especially black and white polka dot.
I love doing a black and white binding. I've done them, especially polka dot. So the first time I saw this was actually Laura Heine had her featherweight collage. And I walked in and she had a big white polka dot, and I remember being almost alarmed because it wasn't lined up. So when Katie and I have talked about polka dots, you have organized polka dots and then you have scattered polka dots.
I don't
And
know that I have scattered.
I think majority of all of yours are organized. I'm pretty sure they're organized polka dots and not scattered. So that's also here we go. We got
I
a
just noticed
scattered
that
dot.
one up there. Yeah.
We got
Just
one.
A little bit of a scatter. Yeah, it was the
It's
same
actually
print.
quite organized. Nope, it's
Is it
organized.
just spread more?
It's just more
Yeah,
spread
because
out.
the scattered dot I don't love as much.
That's interesting. I didn't quite realize that until
Yeah,
now.
I like a more uniform.
Uniform polka dots.
I like
So-
the variety of the like sizes of the polka dot, but I do like a more like uniform dot.
So here's two uniform
yes.
dots, and so we have the tiny American Jane one on the left or on your right. I get confused.
Yeah, they're right.
You're right. And then this one over here is a Henry Glass one that's called Priscilla's Polka Dots. So we have
I do like that.
both of those are options. So it's something like this.
Oh, you
even,
also grabbed that one. Oh, sorry, you're still talking
Oh,
about
you're
polka dots.
good.
I just saw that.
Well, I had to be different. Anyway, so this I don't know if they can see this or not. But anyway, a tiny black and white dot. This would really frame the quilt, and even though that this is black and dramatic, it's not gonna take away from her overall polka dot because
It'll look cool against that pink. Too.
yeah, whenever you do black and white, it's like all rules don't apply because it's a black and white polka dot. Like it's just
We
essential
have
for
two
living.
comments saying black and white polka dot, yes.
So are we talking tiny though or medium size? You know, we've got two different options here. But so you can tune back in on there. But I really think either way, whichever way Katie went, this would work. You know, phenomenal. And tiny's just perfect.
Something
Like
about
I'm
the
kind
tiny
of
dot,
defaulting to this.
It almost reminds me of like pinstripe. It has like a classy. It's like
It
a classy
does.
dot, right?
It is.
Like there's,
And
I don't know
still
what it
Team
is.
Rainbow though. We have to
Oh,
show
we
you.
have
we
to show
talked
Team
about
Rainbow.
that. Well, and also this.
One more
I didn't
thing.
realize you brought that over.
I
That's
did.
fun.
So, you know, when I think about like all the great things of 2025 and all the great things about 2024,
Yeah.
I just keep thinking about how amazing it was that Keith and Brandon were here
Yes.
in Wellington, Kansas, and hosting them was so much fun, getting to talk to them. What was Brandon's compliment to your outfit that time?
Oh my gosh.
He said you were a vision to the street.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's one of the best.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. And
Yeah.
Brandon is so classic and classy how he says it.
Mhm.
And, you know,
Yeah, greatest compliment of all time.
It-
He signed a book for me, and I had him write it in there.
which is great. Which is great.
I loved meeting them, and that happened like right after I started working here for full time.
So just
So it
put
was
it
just
behind
like-
Katie's head a little
Yeah,
bit. But this is
so
shark's
yeah,
teeth.
Yeah.
So, but shark's teeth, to talk about it, this is printed in a different way. So if you cut traditional binding, I just want to talk about this real quick. If you cut traditional binding, you cut it with the fabric. And so you would end up with these strips. Well, because of how Brandon shark's teeth are, then you would actually get almost like a wave. You wouldn't get the stripe look that most people are looking for. So you could do this two different ways. You could either do the open wave because it's printed differently, or you could still get a yard of fabric and trim it, cut it
Yeah,
with
that's cool.
or link the fabric to get the shark's teeth so that they were more of a stripe effect. Which would be an option. It would just be different. But maybe this should be the throw pillow that sits on the couch that you snuggle with the quilt the most, you know? So I just think, I just felt like bringing Brandon into the conversation because
I love
it's Brandon does black and white and contrast so well, and that's why
Yeah.
it's just such a classic.
Yeah.
Such a classic thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, the skirt I made was those black and whites with the pop of.
Yeah. So it's just great.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
then my last question for you before we
Yes.
go back to these other things, is are you 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 binding?
I'm 2.5.
2 1/2. Great choice. Great
Yeah.
choice. I would say great choice no matter what choice you decide. But
Also, I will bind this one myself, but I recently learned that I should have known this because I've worked here forever, that Mary,
yes.
you can have Mary bind your quilts. And she's amazing. I have had more quilts bound since then. That I learned that she does those. But I will
Yes.
bind this one myself. But in case you're like me and you don't totally enjoy the process of binding, you don't even have it quilted here. You can just drop off a quilt here to be bound by Mary.
We did have 2 people say Henry Glass used the yellow it would act as a frame.
Are those 2 thoughts? Use yellow or use
Like Henry Glass.
this one? The
and
Henry
they
Glass
said
one.
use yellow.
Oh, use a yellow. You know, yellow is an interesting color, and you could again default to your favorite color on this one.
Ooh, someone said, or you could cut it on the diagonal for an even different
Well,
look.
my goodness, I'm so
Oh,
glad
the-
you asked. So, look what I have here. This is not just anything. If you're really looking, this is a paper towel holder from Ross. It is from there. But it's really fancy, and it reminds me of my grandma because it has, this nice little diamond on top. But it happens to be perfect. Paper towel holders are great for holding your own binding spools.
Yeah.
So we recently got this collection in of bias pre-made binding that you buy by the yard. And you can get it. It's made by Riley Blake, so it's the Riley Blake 1/8 inch stripes that they're just so well known for. And this would also be perfect. Now, if you were going to do this, Katie, then I wouldn't tell you to pre-wash it because it's already been made on the bias.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just think that would be weird to throw this in the wash.
Yeah.
And again, there are no such thing as quilt police, and it wouldn't matter. But anyway, that's just a thing. It's just
So
a
which
thing.
one, do you think the black and white on that one, or do you think is the rainbow too much?
I don't think
Rainbow
rainbow
is
is ever
never
too
too
much.
much.
I know, what a crazy question.
What a crazy
Did I forget
question.
where I am right now?
But to me, I've already thought about this enough. I really think Katie should do black and white because I just think
Yeah.
it needs
I'm
black and white.
anti-black and white.
You're anti-black and white. See, and this is the problem. This is the other thing that Brandon would say if he was here.
Yeah.
Is he actually, when people took his workshop with Cave, in their very beginning of the workshop process, they have this sentence that they basically say, like, you're going to be tempted to go turn to your friend and ask her.
That's right.
And he says it in a very British way, but it's just like, don't ask her because basically she could have bad taste.
Yeah.
And she could have poor decision-making skills. And if you outsource your decisions to somebody else, you could be disappointed and be getting bad advice from someone who is being ornery and not in a good place. But it's
Yeah.
more British and more Brandon.
Yeah, I think he says something like, your neighbor could be a hag or something.
Yes, yes, I
He
like
says
that.
Something like
Yes. So, at the end of the day, Katie absolutely should not ask any of us, and she needs to do her own default decision making. But half of the thing with making a decision is you just have to make it and go
Well,
for
and
it.
also, like, you guys are helping me narrow it down.
Yeah, we're giving you
Yes,
giving
because-
ideas into the pool.
Because I was just like, oh, this is so much color in here, and it's hard for me to decide what color to pick to go on the, So this is just helping me narrow it down, and then I'll,
Yeah,
you know.
so I think
But also, guys, please weigh in the comments. I also want your opinions, too.
because I think that what I like to do about that is because sometimes you don't understand what you want until you see something you don't like.
Earlier, when you mentioned doing the poll, I was like, sometimes that's the best way to figure out what you want is to ask somebody, and then they say, and you're like, wait, nope, I immediately knew I didn't want that when you said that's what I should do.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. That's psychological. That's crazy how that works.
Yeah, it just does. It just does.
Yes.
So, anyway, so there's Katie's
Yes.
decisions wrapping up the end of the year. Now I have to see how much time do I have budgeted so I can talk about all the
Yes.
other
9:35.
random
Doing good.
stuff I want to. So we're doing good. So,
Swap back in.
all this end of the year collaboration is super fun. And we have to show Mom's idea, but my mom, her mother-in-law, Connie Hart, she loves this piece. This was actually made by Roberta Byers. I asked her to make it, but this is the front cover of the Scrappy Improv book. I'm going to try to post it as a link in the comments, but this is a really fun crumb quilting
Even
book.
got the
It even
polka
has
dots.
black and white polka dots because it's a thing. And this, I think, is the exact same bolt. This is the organized Henry Glass polka dot. But Mom's thought was if you were to make a temperature quilt or something like that, you could even make it as a crumb quilt. kind of a concept. She's not here because she has Braxton with her, but it's another really good idea, and it just looks super
Yeah, she
great.
was thinking like that could represent a whole month possibly. And you'd have like a block for
Oh.
each month.
And 12 up.
Yeah, because of like how scrappy each of those little
Oh.
wedges
There you
are,
go.
that could represent,
So instead of
Yeah.
having to do dedicating 365 squares plus whatever averages, that's a great idea concept.
It could be a mood.
Yes. Which we did look up that the average Kansas weather is like 57 degrees, but then the most common temperature was 60 or something like
I
that.
can't remember.
I don't know.
It
But
was
anyway,
last
it's just fun. So we've got some other fun ideas that we're working on for that, but kind of this stuff with and this is what the fabric kit looks like for Lauren's temperature quilt. So if you're just joining us, Lauren has curated 20 half yards of grunge fabrics to make this 0 to 100 temperature quilt range. The biggest color being anything over 100, and the purplest color being anything that is 0 degrees or less.
Yes.
And so it's just a beautiful stack of fabric. So you could buy it to do a temperature quilt. You could make a mood quilt.
And
I'm
we
going to work on
will,
that.
On the kits, give you like a piece of scrap
Oh, yes.
to do your own
Yes.
planner.
So that was our confetti.
That was our confetti with the
Yeah.
scraps.
This
So-
is going to actually get cut up into being those beautiful
Give you a
things so
little
you can
section.
use scrap.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Great idea, Lauren. Love it. So when you are preparing to enter into a new year, I think it's really important to appreciate all the things you've done. So I like to write things down, and I like to go through and reread my journals and my thoughts, because it's amazing how many times that you look back and something I've written down, we've done. And then every once in a while, I look back at some of the old things, and it's like, oh, I wrote that down 3 years ago, but I just now did it. And I think I try to not give myself too hard of a time if it's a 3-year-old idea, because if it happens now, that's when it was meant to happen. And I wanted to bring this in. It's not in the right size poster, but I gave my daughters a couple different like prints, and I framed them. But I also got myself a couple prints. And this is almost, it's not quite the year of the goldfish. I don't quite want to say that, but also speaking about Brandon and Ted Lasso. Lauren's about ready to go see my sister Molly up in Kansas City. And Molly, my sister's who showed me Ted Lasso for the first time years ago. And Ted Lasso is really fun, but he has a whole thing about goldfish. It's a thing. And ever since then, I've thought more about goldfish. And but you just want to you don't want to hold on to things very long, because a goldfish, you have the memory of a goldfish.
Yes.
It's more poetic. But this says mindset is everything. We did have to explain it to my mom. I'm not sure if this is glary or not, but this is a goldfish who's swimming in the ocean, and the goldfish has a hat on that's a shark. And because it doesn't matter if you're a goldfish or a first-year quilter or a 30-year-old quilter, or if you have a tiny sewing machine that only costs $100, or if you have the Cadillac, Luminaire, or Avenir, it doesn't matter what type of machine you have or where you sew or what it looks like, just as long as your mindset is that you're a quilter and that you're going to make more quilts next year. Because you just, no matter what space you're in or what you, don't think about what you have and have not, you're a goldfish with a shark hat, and you're going to make more quilts next year.
I mean, that's even outside of quilting. That's a good
Right.
work.
Yes. So I literally this morning, I called it, I panic grabbed it, but I have this propped up in my quilt room up against the wall that I stare at. I have like a window and part of a wall where my sewing machine is forward. So when I'm sitting and sewing, this is what I'm going to look at all next year. So I did get it from Amazon if you would like to get the same poster. But if you just make your own or find it goldfish, whatever works for you. But to me, this was a powerful thing of what I want to think about, because next year we're going to make more quilts, Lauren. And I'm going to finish some of my other cool ideas because it's time.
Yes.
So cataloging new ideas. I got my budgeted time. I'm going to give myself 10 minutes for this. So I absolutely love this journal. This is called the Quilting Journal. It's a project scorekeeper thing. You can have 50 projects in here. It has a table of contents, which for organized people, I think that that's really helpful to catalog your ideas. But I don't know if I did it last year, because I think I knew I was pregnant. I think I knew I wasn't going to make as many quilts last year. It just wasn't going to be in the cards for me. And but I have gotten several of these because I like to start off the year and write down the ones that I'm going to work on next year. And so if I have a couple projects that are no longer bringing me joy, I don't write them down in the next year's journal, because I don't want to think about it. That then becomes something I'm putting off to the side. I think it's really important to keep joyful, fun things that you're working on, and that's not going to be everything you've ever started. That's that's just not a thing. So I think that this is a great tool if you want to record your UFOs or your projects or just keep a journal. I also like this because it easily goes in your purse. It's just great for that. And it's spiral bound. I love it. Now this has come out within the last year, I think. This is a handy sticker sheet from Lori Holt. There are 5 colors of stickers and they go from 1 to 24. And she has hearts, scissors, all kinds of stuff that's in with these. But yes, love stickers #1. But if you are working on a project that has lots of parts and pieces, like Lori Holt's projects, sometimes you need that many different numbers to tell you what part of something it is. So that's going to keep you organized. This is also something that's really nice. So that book is a little bit more permanent. You know, when you're assigning a number, you're assigning a number. If you're more of a post-it note person or a daily tracker, this is a really cool notepad. This is called Today is the Day. It has the numbers or the days of the week that you can sign. It has appointments to do, water drinking. I like how fitness is a pinwheel. I like that because, if you make a pinwheel, that counts as fitness. Did you get, I'm going with that at least. And happy thoughts. I love that they made a section to put happy thoughts.
That's cute.
I absolutely love that.
I think that would work.
Yes, because you can train your brain to think about whatever you want to think more about. And if you want to think more about quilting or happy thoughts.
Your mindset is everything.
Your mindset is, you see where we're going with
Yes.
this? It's going to be a great year next year. We also have a great spiral bound notebook from Lori Holt. This is called Stitch. This is like, if you are obsessed with graph paper, you need this. If you have thought about, I need to buy graph paper, if that has been a thought you've had, you need this book. It is like architectural engineer sized graph paper, and because it is Lori Holt, it is spiral bound and it is thick, because if you have this, you mean business. You plan to sketch out multiple quilt blocks. This is not just a side hustle for you. You are a deep thinking, passionate quilter. Also this, be organized, file folders. Some people prefer a filing folder system, and this is a quilty one. That would be great. You could organize your stickers in it, organize your magazine inspiration, wherever you get it
You
from.
can organize your taxes too. I mean,
organize your taxes. I want to keep my taxes very far away from my quilting. But you do like
these are just
spreadsheets.
cute to have in your office.
Yeah,
Like
they
even
are.
beyond quilty, like
Oh, I like it. Maybe
Gifts for like any organization.
just anything. Like
it's a way
just
for
be reminded of quilting
yes.
all day, every day.
Oh yeah.
And you could bring it into your, your work life, because if you aren't lucky enough, like Lauren works at the middle school, which is amazing, but she does not work at the quilt shop all the time. So we're, at least Katie and I are surrounded by fabric and color constantly,
So can make
and a bit of
the
cardboard.
quilting there.
This is an office bundle, also fun. This is for the other pro. This is also Lori Holt. We've got washi tape, pins, little tabs, paper clips, post-it notes, all kinds of fun stuff. So that's the office bundle. All right, my budgeted time. I have 7 minutes now to talk about my rest of my stuff. And that's just me giving myself a fake deadline. So Lauren, I'm going to, for real this time, I'm going to write a pattern this year that's finally for my crumb quilt stuff. And so,
I'll believe it when I send it.
yeah, I know, right? No, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to. So I have been working on for a long time. I don't know. I wonder if Katie's quilt would hold up these pieces at all. Maybe a little bit, maybe not.
You can pin
It
to
won't.
it if you want to.
But anyway, I've been working on all these little crumb blocks. They're 6.5-inch pieces. I like using this as a rack. It's very helpful in classes if you're ever looking for more space. I'm just saying, you have a space where you didn't think you did. So anyway, this is a design board, walking design board. Feel free to use that if you can. But anyway, I've made a whole bunch of these. So I'm going to finish making my Black Magic crumb quilt pieces. And I'm really working. Isn't it fun? So for the last couple years during 12 Days of Christmas, we've always had Rainbow Day as the day we end on the 12th day of Christmas. And some people have bought our Black Magic Fat Quarter bundles. I have a crumb pack that has all these different fabrics in it, and it's almost like an epic oversized layer cake. So I think the pieces are like 11 by 12. So if you have ever wanted a variety of black backgrounds with rainbow, it's called Black Magic on our website. It is not bad juju. It is just beautiful fabric. So you can buy this because I'm going to finish it. This is what some of my slabs look like in the process. So I made a crumb heart quilt 3 years ago, and but I made it and I didn't photograph it as I went. So when I was like, I need to make a pattern, I needed to make a second quilt. And so I've been trying to photograph this one a little bit more, which is why it's taking a longer time. And so this is what some of my stuff looks like. Now, if you're not a crumb quilter nonsense scrap person, this would probably give you like an aneurysm. So please look away. But anyway, I'm very excited about it. And this is on part of my design board. And so this is one of my exciting projects for next year to finish up. I'm also, this is a new project I've started. This is not old enough to be a UFO yet, but I love leaders and enders, and it's one of my favorite things. Did you just love this? I saw that look on your face. Right.
Oh, it's cute.
It's just super cute. So whenever I'm working on a project, even if it's a scrap quilt, I love to work on leaders and enders. And when I've been at home nursing, I've been watching lots of YouTube. And I've realized that there's not enough videos about leaders and enders that are out there in the world. And the ones that are there, I don't totally agree with exactly how they say it. So I need to make my own. And so I'm very excited about it. But this is a more organized, scrappy idea. But this cute little chicken, this beautiful apple, this fun paintbrush thing, you know, eat more apples, do more art, eat more eggs. Love the chickens. But anyway, there's a really cute panel that we have that's called I Spy or something like that. And that's where I harvested these out of. They're actually like 4-inch printed squares, but you trim them down on the lines to be a 3.5-inch square. And that's my current leader and ender. So somewhere I stashed, oh, it's right here. Right out in the open. This is my leader and ender quilt from the last probably 12 months. I know I started it. I started it this summer before. I think I started it before Keith and Brandon came. Like,
so good.
isn't it? It's just cheerful.
I think I have it turned.
Katie and I are friends. Yeah, it's definitely not upright, the right direction. Some of it.
Oh,
might be.
our quilts are friends.
They are. Our quilts are friends. I didn't realize it's almost the same size. I did not have this planned. But anyway, I'm kind of trying to decide how much bigger to make it. But this has been my leader and ender project, which means I keep a stack of light backgrounds and colorful squares right at my throat of my sewing machine. And in between whatever I'm working on, I just zip a couple more of those in there at the very beginning, at the very end of whatever I'm chain sewing. And so I actually don't use the built-in scissor function very much on my machine because I do leaders and enders. And I am rather obsessed with it. It is a chronic...
If she sees me cutting it after every...
Oh, I just have to... I have to keep thread under there. Like, I just... Anyway, it's a game I play with myself.
I mean, it does keep you from having to potentially rethread more often, right? Like,
It
sometimes
does.
when
I'm
you cut, you end up having to...
Oh, no. One day I'll get you. I got Jan Brody after 7 years, and now she's a believer, so...
Oh, wow.
Got time to work on you. But anyway, I'm not giving up. It's kind of like I talk about the word big magic and your brain on art so much. It's because I really do want people to read that book. It's my goal is for people to read that. And so this is a slightly less scrappy version of that quilt that I was going to also make.
So yellow.
I have just the yellows and the whites. And so I'm also thinking about maybe making like a 16 patch. Where it's color blocked. So like I have all the reds, all the pinks, all the yellows.
I love that.
But the I Spy panel is what gave me the inspiration for kind of sorting that. So sometimes to spark your joy of like wanting to use your scraps to do a leader and ender project, it is really nice to just throw a panel in there of something. But this is my basket that I use that's for my leaders and enders because I mean business. And then last but not least, during our 12 days of Christmas. So most of you, I would say 75% of you have picked up your bags so far, maybe 80. And so, or we've mailed them to you, but we featured on Rainbow Day this beautiful fabric from Ruby Star, and it is called Starry. And Starry is this beautiful black fabric with rainbow tiny stars, and it actually is in 2 different scales. This is the one we did for 12 Days of Christmas, and there's a larger rainbow star that's kind of like Katie's polka dots here, like the stars are more like the medium-sized polka dot. And this is the Brightly Star, which I have a king-size Brightly on my bed right now. It's out of me and my sister fabric. But this is speckled. It's a beautiful color. We also featured a 7-pack of those fabrics during 12 Days of Christmas, but we always have speckled.
Yes.
I did find out yesterday we are just barely sold out of this fabric, but we're getting more. It's in stock in the warehouse, so never fail. But the vision here is what I told you during 12 Days of Christmas, and I was so excited I had to go home and make a test block. And then I realized I was out of most of my colors of speckled. So I got this done. But the thought here is where these white squares are is that you could put other rainbow colors of speckled. You wouldn't have to make it just speckled. You could have thatch and grunge and starry, and you could even have polka dots. You could have
speckled was my second choice to the grunge.
Yes, it's just lots of potential. So this is definitely something I think that's really cool and speckled, and using rainbow stuff.
Yes.
But this is 5 yards of that fabric. So if you do plan to do some background stuff, or you are wanting to make more quilts this year, I do really think people should be buying background fabrics in 3 or 5 yard increments, because you really want to have enough to work with. And most of the time, places like Moda are very consistent with their fabrics, but it is nice when you get it all off the same bolt, just because you have extra assurance. So 5 yards.
You can make a pillow.
Yeah. So it's just, if you are one of those people that got the starry, you have great taste, because I love what you picked, because Katie and I picked it. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. So there's that. And then this was my other thing. I keep this on my design board because it makes me happy. This was a sew along from, and this is my reminder too that I can make small things. Because sometimes I have to remind myself of that. But this is a cute project that's called Scrap with Terry. And you can find her on YouTube. She's a Canadian. And she is who won Free Spirit's Tamarack Jacket Challenge when we did that a couple years ago. So she was the winner, and she travels the world doing trunk shows and lectures. But this was her Scrapbuster leader and ender project thing that she focused. I think it was just a Scrapbuster. It was not a leader and ender. But I just had so much fun with the improv part of it, and it was something fun and easy to do. And I started it when my sewing room was much smaller than what I have now. And so, again, it doesn't matter if you are sewing in a laundry room, the guest bedroom, under a table, on your dining room. Who needs Thanksgiving? You know. Anyway, wherever you're sewing, you can make fun things.
Yeah.
So in summary, we're closing this out. I feel like we should do cheers with our iced coffee.
What's your one project you want to start or do?
Oh, well,
year?
yes. So Lauren's gonna hold me accountable.
Quilting, just something.
Oh,
fun.
something? Well, should I tell them the thing
You
I was
both.
telling you about last?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a Wordle quilt. So the big thing that I really want to do next year is I want to do more machine embroidery, because I have loved that. I've taught classes on it, but I want to do more at home. And so I did bring the laptop over there, but I don't have enough time to boot it up and show you. But I did go ahead, and last night I've picked 4 fonts. You can help me choose.
Yes.
But I want to do the Wordle. So the Wordle brings a lot of people together. I like word games. Also, Kafe and Brandon, they play Wordle every day. If you did not know this about them.
Wordle is just...
It's just the best. So, but Wordle is like a big thing. So if you are a Wordle person, nobody should talk about the Wordle of the day, because you don't know if somebody does it in the morning with their coffee or right before they go to bed at midnight. And because we have friends from across the globe and in different time zones, you never know when someone might be working on the next Wordle for the next day. I'm going to think through that. But I think I'm going to do that as a sew along and make one embroidered word Wordle square. And why I like it is because Wordle is always a 5-letter word. And so it's also going to be something small that's going to fit in my 4x4 hoop. It's something that Lauren has an embroidery machine. I have an embroidery machine. And it doesn't matter which ones we both have, because both of us have 4x4 hoops.
Yes.
And I just think that would be fun.
I'm so excited.
So I was inspired by Lauren's curation, and so I got myself a sandwich stack. It's somewhere buried on our table here. But this is the special roll. It's just beautiful. This is Lauren's temperature
like a
quilt
croissant.
color palette. It is. It's way better than a croissant too. Look at those layers. But that is probably what you want a croissant to look like.
Like before you bake it, you know, when you get
Yes,
all the
all the
layers of
layers.
butter.
I love it. So I'm going to make a word quilt next year that is embroidered from Wordle. And I'm going to hopefully do it as a sew along is my other thing, because I want to make more content
Yes.
for people. So if you are interested in the Wordle quilt concept and you like that, and you also want to do more machine embroidery next year, you can contact us or let us know, but I think it's going to be something that we'll be putting in our stories or on YouTube, and we will make sure that there's a couple day delay of the
Hopefully
Wordle
a
word,
TikTok.
so that we are, TikTok, that's right. Lauren, so Mini Haha, Melissa, if you're watching, Lauren is a TikTok person, and she's going to help me make sure that we do more TikToks.
Yes.
Yes, TikTok accountability buddies.
Yes.
Because we need more words, we need more fun, we need more games.
I think I'm so excited for
We need
this.
more things that pull us
Wordle.
together. And so if you're interested in the Wordle thing, let us know. And mindset is everything. Make more quilts for 2026. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun with our inspiration from today.
Have a good day.